So today, my guest is one huge supportive person that I met through another friend, but he became one of the biggest constant supporters of myself and many other streamers. Tonight, we're going to talk about a lot of things, including his favorite games, the things he likes, as well as also we're going to include two new things. Well, one actual new thing, but we all know about Truth Serum because I've been doing it for the past few episodes. But I've added a third mini game. We're gonna discover it. I'll keep it as a surprise. And he has a little bit of a life story to share. So tune in, and I hope everybody enjoys. So please welcome John Hammy, aka JohnHam340, to tonight's episode. Hi, John.
Buddy, how's everybody doing?
I'm doing great. This is the first thing I always ask my guests is, how are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. I woke up. You can't really be upset about being able to wake up after falling asleep.
Yeah, I feel that. But let's start from the beginning. You, I think, recently started streaming. Can you tell me about like how you discovered Twitch, how you decided to become a streamer, and a little bit about the channel, please?
So originally I started my streaming interest as a form of just kind of having a way to look back at myself and kind of give myself a little bit of how do I describe it, ability to learn from my mistakes in a certain game. Because when I originally started streaming, I was really interested in Smite. Those who don't know what Smite is, it's a game similar to League of Legends, but
Yeah.
It's a top-down game. But anyways, I played a lot of Smite way back when, and I was actually over on Mixer at the time before Mixer imploded and basically forced me and a bunch of the following that I had, and not necessarily my following, but I've always been a very interactive individual, so I've always had my streamers that I liked to go and support, and I had a few of those over on Mixer. Luckily, all of those streamers came over to Twitch, and I've been in the Twitch community for probably about 2.5, maybe 3, possibly 4 years. I don't even remember when Mixer imploded. It's been so long. So anyways, I came over and I decided that I wanted to do a little bit of streaming myself after meeting one of my friend Serenade GS. I found him randomly doing Stream Raiders before Stream Raiders eventually closed up before. But I found him, and at first I didn't check his stream out, and that was kind of a disservice to him. So I felt the need to be like, okay, I'm gonna go give the streamer about a chance. And once I seen his channel and the games that he was playing and the vibes that he was giving off, I was hooked. So I've stuck with Serenade for a while, and he kind of coached me into, doing streams because, well, we played a lot of multiplayer games in the community, and rest his soul, Mike would usually jump on Dead by Daylight with us way back when, and then Serenade and I found Grounded. So I wanted to get all the crazy shenanigans that we were doing, on on video so that I could go back and watch and have a couple laughs. And well, I ended up not streaming as much because I guess I found myself very discouraged due to the lack of viewership. So like when I would stream, I'd only get like 1, maybe 2 views, and for a while I didn't let that bother me. But then it gets to, after you've been doing it for like a week straight and you're only getting 1 or 2 views, it's like it becomes very taxing mentally. So I kind of stopped for a while. I kind of sat down, did a little bit of, you know, brand epiphany sort of things. And my one friend, he wound up drawing me up my profile picture. And the funny thing about my profile picture, I basically told him one thing. I was like, at the time I was really big into Sea of Thieves, so I was like, I want it to be a pirate. But I'm also a super big Naruto fan.
See, I love Sea of Thieves. I love Sea of Thieves. I used to play it like a few months back. Now I don't have anyone to play with.
I'm trying to get back into it, so maybe you'll see some John Ham, Lucifer, TTV, Sea of Thieves runs here soon. But yeah, so anyways, I basically told my friend Shen, I was like, I want it to be a pirate. I want it to resemble a ninja in some sort of form because of my love for Naruto. And I'm a big avid fisherman, so I wanted it to be something with those 3 requirements. And he came up with my current profile picture, and it's something I've built my entire brand around. I basically took that profile picture. I was like, this is what I'm going to basically explode as my brand. This is how people are going to see me. This is what my emotes are going to look like. All of that. And I honestly, it was a grind. I didn't start really taking streaming super seriously until about a month and a half ago. And words are hard. I can't be any more grateful for the support that I've gotten from not just you, but from Serenade's community, from my boy Krillin's community, from Laidback Luke's community, from Golden Goddess's community. All of you guys have been so supportive in the first week that I started to really start taking streaming seriously, because I had my followers beat. I could get the hours easily. I could stream on the 7 days that they required easily. It was always just a viewership, and like it. Once I got a hold and started networking myself a little bit better than what I was doing, it literally took a week, less than that, and we were affiliated. I was making money, and it's been amazing ever since. I've been doing 3 to 4 hour streams on a regular basis. I usually try to stick to a schedule. I usually stream Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays from 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time till about 12:30, 1 o'clock. And then I usually get off, we'll raid out, and I'll come back, and I usually chill for Tuesdays and Thursdays, but you'll still see a random stream every once in a while, because I'm pretty sure I was on Thursday playing Grounded with Serenade. But yeah, that's kind of my ride into my Twitch channel and how it kind of came about.
So what was the first game you ever streamed, if you remember?
first game I would have ever streamed would have been Smite. Now, when I played Smite, I played a lot of like mages and support roles, and I don't play Smite anymore because I learned a while ago that because not to expose my age or anything, but I am 29. I'm creeping up on 30 easily. Getting into my age, I've found that I'm not really one for the competitive scene anymore. So I kind of play more laid back games, and if I do like a shoot 'em up game or like a multiplayer game, I'm not shooting for like I gotta be top global at everything. None of that matters to me. I want to vibe with friends. I want to do shenanigans, get a couple of good laughs in before my time on this planet's up. I want these memories. I want all these good vibes and all of that. So yeah, I would say that I started with Smite, but I've definitely grown in my interest in games.
So where did the name, I know that you probably mentioned something about usernames, but like where did the name JohnHam340 come from? Like how did you put it together?
Okay, so believe it or not, my name is actually John. It's my legal name, but the ham portion of it is technically like a butchered version of my last name. I'm not going to expose myself, obviously, but yeah, so the ham portion is just part of my actual, it's not my full last name. Hang on, Blue Spur, I'm getting, it's kind of a funny thing. It's a keystroke, essentially. 340 just when your
John, hold on. You're a bit far from the phone.
And like, I've used. Sorry about that. So 340 it's essentially just a three. It's a keystroke, and it flows off of my hand. Like when your hand's sitting next to the number pad and everything. For some reason, to me, the 340 is just a quick bam, 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 and then hit enter. So that's kind of where the 340 comes in. Did you get the ham portion?
Yes. Okay. So, like you have your own way of like welcoming people and like supporting them and stuff. What I want to know is like, I know you're part, like I know I introduced you to to a community called Purge Valley, but like
yes.
I want to know like, was this your whole thing? Because I was pushing from the beginning, trying to help John and others out to get affiliate, and he did it. But like, I know maybe you're like, I don't know if it's your thing from the beginning, like when you came to the platform, were you ever deciding on like supporting others when you become a streamer or even before and stuff?
So I've always been a big supporter of the little guy. I've always been a fighter for the little guy. Yeah, so for me, it's always been who I am. I've always been a giver. I'm more of a lover than a fighter. I'm like the full-fledged definition of a hippie, minus all the negative parts of it. I'm a lover of all people. I think people, even in their worst, the people have so much capability to be great and be good and be lively. And in my venture on Twitch, I have ran into a number of fantastic people, just personalities, and they're all different kinds of personalities, Lucifer. all different types of personalities. Like, you never know who you're gonna get, and that's like the wonder of Twitch. You never know who you're gonna be interacting with, what their story is. And I love streamers that will, like, you can basically go into their channel and be having like the worst day ever, and just being there for 10 minutes or 5 minutes or however how long you've got to hang out with that streamer. Sometimes it's just, that's all it takes to put a smile on your face. And I've found that it works both ways, really. I mean, as a streamer, I know that how easy it is to stream when you have people watching and engaging with you, and because the communication on stream, people got to remember, like, not all of us are sitting in Discord calls when we're streaming. Not all of us are sitting in parties. Some of us are solo streamers. We don't talk to anybody else except for, you know, the persons that are in our chats, or, you know, or we're sitting there talking to ourselves. So I found it a little difficult at first to sit there and talk to myself, but as I've been doing it, I've gotten a lot better at it. But for me, I guess, as a viewer, I absolutely love going in and making people's days. Like last night, I ran into this awesome affiliated streamer, mind you. He had low views. I think he only had like 1 view at the time, and he was playing some Phasmophobia, which I mean, I really like Phasmophobia, and I don't mind watching people play it. But I ran into him last night, and dude's engaging with me right off the rip. I walked in, I gave him a follow. He was like, "Hey, thanks for the follow, man." He was like, "I appreciate you coming by." And I'm like, "Okay, yeah, cool. I like streamers that are, you know, reactive to the chat in a timely manner," and this guy killed it. And I was like, "Dude, why the hell is this guy only got 1 viewer?" So I was like, "Okay, dude, I asked him a few questions, you know, like how his growth has been since he became affiliated, how he's been, you know, how he's been doing with his stream hours and all that stuff." And he says he had gotten slow. So I was like, I'm not going to be pushy or anything, but I have a few recommendations, a few Discords that are streamers for other streamers that you can join, and it could help promote you. And he's like, "You know, I might actually do that. I'm already in a couple." And so I checked to see, I think I invited him to Purge Valley, and I gave him a little bit of an extra boost, and I directed him towards the Oasis. I was like, "Go check out these Discords, throw yourself promos into these Discords, and we will do what we can to get you some eyes." But I told him, I was like, "You get this in this situation. This is kind of one of those things where you get what you put into it." I told him, it's like, the best way for you to grow your brand and your channel is it's honestly word of mouth. You got to get out there. You got to interact with other people's streams. You got to interact with other people's streamers. And, you know, and I told him that. I was like, "Hey, you know," because last night, I think I stepped away and was lurking in Serenade's stream or something like that. And he ended up ending. But he did, when he ended, he never raided. I was like, okay. So I messaged him on Discord. I was like, "Hey, in the future, you know, raid somebody. You know, it's a good habit to get into, to raid somebody, even if you feel like, you know, maybe you only have 1 viewer. Even that 1 viewer raid somebody. Take yourself and one viewer to somebody completely brand new. Do what I did. I came into you. You had one viewer. Go find you
Yeah.
a streamer that only got one viewer.
Yeah, not only that,
then-
but like always raid out, guys. Always, even like I know some people, like I've told some people, like, hey, why don't you raid out? They're like, there's only you and I, or like me and someone else in here. Like I only got one viewer. I'm like, so just get yourself out there. Have some exposure.
Exactly.
Like this is how you get yourself known. And one thing before you continue, one of my friends and mods struggled a lot, and he told me like, I feel cursed because I'm not getting past that 400 viewers. Like I'm not even gonna get the not 400 viewers, sorry, 400 followers. I'm not gonna get past that. I'm like, I'm sure you will one day, because he's been at it for 5 years. And all I told him was like, exclamation mark lurk, these 5 symbols, 1 symbol and 4 letters will get you places. And I think like, I don't know, he told me like, I'm bad at networking, and I'm like, well, you need to fix that. It's not my problem. All I need to do is get your name out there. You don't have to chat in their streams, because I know you have like only probably 1 monitor and you read chat from your phone, but get yourself out there. You don't have to keep their tab open. Just exclamation mark lurk, stay a bit, get the channel points,
even if you have,
then dip out. So yeah.
yes, even if you've only got like 5 minutes, just sit there and shoot the shit. You know, pardon my French, but essentially just sit there and talk with the streamer. Say the streamer's not even talking. If you see somebody else in the chat and it's not a bot, engage with that other viewer. You might end up getting a follow. You know, I completely and 100% agree with you, Blue. Even if you think you shouldn't be raiding, raid. I mean, it gets you out there. It puts your name in people's mouths, and I'm big about that, man. When it comes to growth and everything, the best way to grow is still word of mouth, statistically proven.
Yeah.
It's going to your neighbor and talking about, hey, have you checked out Lucifer DTV today? Dude's awesome. And you know, and then that person turns into another person, and then that person tells their 2 friends, and then, you know, it grows. It grows, and this doesn't mean, I'm not saying that you gotta go tell your neighbor, tell people that you interact with every single day in your real life, but, I mean, we have friends online. You can always just be like, hey, shoot this guy a follow. I think he's a really cool person, or check this chick out. I think she's growing and she's got a really good personality. There's a lot of really cool people out there, people, and it only takes 5 minutes to interact with them.
Yeah, 100%. You mostly do a variety of games, but what genre draws you in more? Like, which genre do you enjoy the most?
I would probably say simulation games. I think games like City Skylines, and I was playing one today, Car Mechanic Simulator 2021, Zoo Tycoon, Surviving Mars. A lot of those, you know, Sims, essentially. A lot of those Sims really catch my eye, because I love simulation games. Like, if it weren't for the fact that I'm on Xbox primarily, I would already have Supermarket Simulator. The game is so mindlessly simple, but like, there's just something about maintenance and like maintaining things that it just really drives me. Maybe it's just because of the role that I play in my real life. Because I work in a warehouse driving forklifts, so I'm very like inventory is my everyday. So maybe it's just the resource management portion to simulation games that I really enjoy, but I think simulation games are probably my go-to. Granted, of course I like other games, but I think simulations probably snatch my eye more than most other games.
Like, what are the limits in chat? Like, what could get someone banned? What's allowed? What isn't in your channel? Besides, like, having random, like, graphic artists or someone asking, like, "Hey, I'm live now," like, probably wanting a raid or something. What could get someone banned? Like, what's allowed? What isn't?
Oh, I don't have very many rules, Blue. I'll be honest with you. I'm a pretty open kind of person. As long as you're coming at me straight and straightforward, and there's no animosity in what you're asking me to do, or what you're trying to influence on me. I don't mind stuff like that. Like, if a streamer is if somebody in my chat's a streamer and stuff like that, and they want a shout out, usually the best way is to go about it for me is to be like, "Hey, I'm a growing streamer, or I've stagnated or whatever. Could you give me a shout out or whatever?" I don't necessarily care about shouting people out. I generally try to shout everybody that chats in my chat out anyways.
Yeah.
But like, I think bullying, hazing, racism, racial slurs, and stuff like that, it's a surefire way to catch Banhammer. I'm also very LGBTQ plus positive, so I don't play any of the
you're an ally.
sexual or the not the sexual innuendos, but the
like an ally for us.
Homophobic slurs and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's not tolerated.
Yeah, absolutely not tolerated. I try to keep it very politically correct over on my end. So I try to use bro, dude as like, universal terms. Personally, I know that's not generally the right way to go about it, but like, I don't know. I guess I don't have the time to go about learning everybody's pronouns, I guess. So I just kind of lump everybody to dude or bro. Because I say it a lot. How's it going, bro? And I'll do that with women too, or, however they feel to be called. I just really try not to offend anybody, because I know what it's like to be hazed and to be bullied, and just for, who you are. So I really do not support any of those negativities in my channel. It is surefire way to get the ban, and just don't be a dick. Like, that's my number one rule, is don't be a dick. Like, it costs you absolutely nothing in life to just be a positive person. Even if you're having a bad day, don't project that negativity to somebody that seems like they're, okay, because you may never know what they're going through. They may be putting on a show, and I'm not trying to point fingers at anybody, because luckily I've not ran into anybody that's been super depressed, but like, people kill themselves, and like, I love everybody, and I don't want to get on one day and realize, oh hey, so and so's not streamed in 3 months. I haven't heard from them, haven't seen them in any chats, and then I go back to their most recent VOD and everything. I rewatch it and I see a hateful comment or something like that, and like maybe it caused them to quit streaming, or maybe it caused them to, you know, end up doing that ultimate negative and taking their own life. Like I hate that shit.
Yeah. Okay. So for the last question of the segment is to the new people out there who are just started, who are listening, and like probably are thinking about streaming or have started streaming. What's one advice you want to give them?
I would probably say the biggest advice I could give them is to just get comfortable talking to yourself. Like for me, it was easier to do after a while because I don't know, maybe watching a couple of my individual personal streamers, and I've got like 3 or 4 that I frequent on a regular basis, but usually they don't have people in voice chat with them. Usually they're sitting at lower viewers, and they're sitting there just having a full-fledged conversation with themselves. And as a streamer, that's so good. That's so good to be able to just basically be talking the whole world to nobody. It's such a strong trait to have. Not many people have it. Some people have social anxiety, where even if they have people talking in their chat, they're just kind of, you know, oh hey, how's it going, and then they get super quiet, you know. Even those types of streamers I still try to support, but it does get a little hard as a viewer when, you know, the streamer's awkward and stuff like that. I try not to pass judgment on any streamer. I give everybody a chance.
Yeah, not only that, but like that happened to that person I mentioned earlier. It's the opposite. Like people would come into his chat and he would ask them like, how are you doing? Welcome in, and he doesn't get an answer. And I don't know, like I tried telling him like just engage more with people, talk more to people, and I don't know, like maybe sometimes it's the game. Like I streamed the Simpsons game, not Hit and Run. It's called the Simpsons game, and there were people there. I don't think it's a very highly popular game, but like people, I don't know, like people come and go, so don't worry about that. But also like I feel like there's jealousy going around, so we have to be wary of that as well, because I've like felt a lot of jealousy towards me from other people who are my friends, and some people even like kind of like grin in a disgusted way sometimes when I mention like stuff, or when I like they ask me to just tell them when I'm going live, for example, or like what I'm doing, what I'm up to. Like if I mention like I have a specific goal I'm working towards, while they ask me to tell them that, I recently find out that, or like I notice them grinning, like I don't know what's up. Like just as John said, not to digress from it. Also, don't focus on how many viewers you have, because that will tank you if you're not pushing for partner, if you're not pushing for affiliate. But if you got affiliate, don't focus on the views. Like this will haunt you. This will haunt you. This will demoralize you. And make sure you're friendly with everyone who deserves it. Not everybody deserves to be you to be friendly. Like set boundaries in chat. Put your foot down, or like tell them to step down if they're like some streamers. I don't mind, but like some streamers don't like chat walling or like people calling out stuff or one-upping people, because it would come across as like very wrong, and not only the chatter that's doing this but also the streamer. You could get an idea about what their vibe is even if you know them for a long time. So I don't know.
Yes.
Don't do that.
Yeah, I to touch a little bit more on the view, not worrying about the viewer count. Sometimes it's best to just turn that ticker off, unless you're grinding for affiliate or you're grinding for partner. Just forget about viewers. Just turn it off, make it not visible, and just play your game. Pay attention to the chat, obviously, because you never know. You might have some random decide that maybe it's me. You know, I'm out in small streamers, starting streamers chats. I'm looking for that next big, that energy.
Yeah.
I'm looking for that energy. I'm looking for that engagement.
Yeah, not only that, John, but also, sorry to cut you off, but like before I forget, there's also something that I noticed lately that's called kind of like shadow banned. There is a website you could go visit that tells you if you're shadow banned or something. I think it's like Twitch Insights, because last night I was helping out a friend of a friend, and I noticed like there's like 3 chatters in his chat, and it says like he only has 1 viewer, and those chatters are active. Like I was in his chat, and I probably was the 1 viewer, and then 2 other people, probably including yourself or someone else. But like I don't know, like why this happens, I have no idea, but like yeah, that could be another reason.
Yeah. It can be taxing, you know, mentally, watching the viewers. That's why I always recommend people to just don't worry about who's watching, you know, do you. At the end of the day, a lot of people aren't coming for the game. Some are coming for the game, but people like me, and I know you're like this, Blue. A lot of us don't show up for the game.
I like basically when I'm in
Serenades, for the personality.
Yeah, in Serenades chat, I don't pay attention most of the time to the game. I just listen in, and if I'm able to like have a conversation, if I'm not at work, if I am able to listen at work when I'm alone, I would just conversate with them. Like some people even go to an extent where I had that happen in my chat from a friend that I know, and I told them like, hey, this is rubbing people off and rubbing you off in the wrong way, and I felt very bad, or like very annoyed on stream, because they came in and they were like, hey, play what's it called, Days Gone, I think, or something like that.
Yeah.
So I was like, this is the second time you do this. The first time wasn't in my chat, and apparently you've done this before, so I don't want, I don't mind playing, situational. I don't mind checking out a game, but like I don't want people to tell me like play this or force it on me, or like he did. He went on a tangent, like he told me like, hey, I'll give you my Epic account, go and just play this game or stream this game. I'm like, I said okay at first, just to shut it down, but then I was like, when they brought it back up, I was like, I don't feel like I want to play this, because one, I didn't want to be rude to you, but now that you bring it up, I'm not trying to be rude. I'm just like, this won't be something I want to do, because logging out of my Epic, then having to log back in and having the credentials saved and having it's a hassle. Plus, I don't want to play
Yeah.
that game. You know, it's a lot. I know it's a rhythm and musical game, but
Hmm.
I don't want to play it like with all due respect. So yeah,
Yeah, I mean, it's one thing to suggest a game. Like suggestions are always welcome in my stream. I'm always looking for like something new to do because I am a variety streamer. So new games are completely okay. What I'm not okay with is, being somebody being like, "Hey, can you look into this game? I really like it. I think you'll like it too." And I mean, that's fine, but like, don't be pushy about it. You only gotta really
yeah,
say it once, because I've got the chat, and if I don't see the chat, you can maybe bring it up one more time, but like more than two is just kind of pushy. I guess if I were to put another like surefire way to get you kicked from my channel, that's probably another way is to
yeah,
be very pushy. I
yeah,
don't I don't like pushy. Recommendation, suggestion, okay. Pushy, not okay.
yeah.
And I don't mind
yeah,
backseat gaming either.
yeah. Same here, same
Backseat
here.
gaming's okay.
Yeah,
It's just
I don't like just if you are very close friends with like someone as you, I, I'm not calling you out or anything, but like you or Delicate, for example, in Serenade's chat, timeout after timeout, this will like take a toll on my account, especially let's say for example if a user has been like banned in several channels and that
mm,
user isn't a troll but he got into some drama or something and then he keeps getting timed out in a channel. Twitch will notice that in the end and it's gonna like have their channel taken down. All their effort is gonna like just go down the drain. They'll have to start from zero again. I kind of like feel annoyed. Okay, do it once, but like not twice or thrice or more than once. One time, like
right.
maybe in a week or a month, that's okay. But like, because I've had someone tell me this because I kept like timing them out as a joke, and
Right.
yeah, like also I like
See, I didn't know
yeah,
that, and now that I know, it's something that I'm not gonna do. I don't think that I'll
yeah,
do
yeah,
that again. Just to,
nah, no worries.
or at least I'll address if
Yeah,
they intend on, pushing for partner or, something like that. You
yeah,
know, it, that was my bad this morning, Blue.
nah, no worries.
I didn't know.
Yeah,
It was an honest mistake, and
it's
now that I know, I can do better.
it's fine, it's fine. But anyways, let's go into segment two. Yeah, so this segment is the lightning round. You can either choose to give a brief answer or give a
Okay.
vague answer. It's kind of like a general questions, but like as I said, like it could be brief, it could be vague. Up to you. You can also skip if you blank out. It's not gonna be personal questions, but if you're like, okay, my brain isn't braining at the moment, so you can skip that. I don't mind. I'm very
Okay,
flexible. Alright,
I'm definitely intrigued now.
yeah. So, do you mind telling me and the listeners what's your daily routine? Like, for example, like, let's say you wake up, you have to have coffee every day, or for example, something you started doing recently, which is like probably like stretch or have a drink of water before you eat or do anything. For me, my daily routine is always check the phone because I woke up several times to bad news, to people just having a meltdown like for example on May 8th, I woke up to the news of like the kitchen at work burning down. So I always make sure to check my phone first thing in the morning.
Yeah, so my routine is super simple. Honestly, Will, it ain't all. There's not really a whole lot to it. I literally wake up, I get ready for work, throw my clothes on and everything. I give my wife a kiss before I go home, tell her to work, tell her I love her, and then I drive. I usually take back ways to work. That's my preference. And if I can't take a back way, it's usually throwing a damper on my day. But I usually wake up, get dressed, go to work. I work for my 8 hours, and then throughout the night I try to check Twitch and everything because I am a part of a tab team. So I try to keep up to date with my team, and I try to keep up to date with the streamers that we're trying to push and everything.
Yeah.
And then after work, it's usually get my kids up and dressed for school. Granted, it's going to change now because their last day was this past Friday. It was to get them up, get them dressed for school, and then it would be, okay, I have to get their hair ready, and then I gotta take them to the bus, and then it's usually start my stream. That's usually how it goes. And then I'll do my stream, and then obviously I'll raid out, and I'll hang out with whoever I raid to for a little bit, unless I'm super tired, because raiding and running is okay, people. It's okay.
Yeah.
So your post-stream care is just as important as anything else. But yeah, I'll do my raid, and then I get something to eat, go take a shower, and then I crawl into bed, and it completely resets every day.
Yeah. Okay. What is one thing you spend a lot of money on besides Twitch or games?
Well, you kind of hit the one on the button. I probably spent a lot of money on Mountain Dew.
Okay.
I probably spent a lot of money on Mountain Dew.
Okay. Okay. If you were ever to be any object or creature, that creature being real or fictional, what would you be and why?
That's a good one. I think I'd want to be a pirate. As much as the technical term of pirate is so bad, and pirates have such a bad rep, I think. Oh no! Scratch that. I think I'd be a shark. I like sharks. Sharks are majestic, and I'm big into fish and stuff like that. I'd want to be a shark. I'm not going to specify which shark. Just a shark in general. Just to have the teeth and the sheer power that sharks have while they're in the water. I mean, they're majestic creatures, and I love sharks.
Yeah. What's your comfort off-stream game?
Comfort off-stream game?
Yeah.
Oh man. I don't. Solitaire. Honestly.
Okay. Fair.
Solitaire.
Fair.
Yeah, I have a solitaire game that's on my phone that I play every single day. It's actually got its own streak system.
Yeah.
If I miss a day, it's got like, as long as I've been playing it for a while and I have some freezes in my pool, I can generally keep my streak, and I'm pretty sure I used one last night because I think I was pretty busy yesterday. Funnily enough, I can tell you exactly what my streak is right now.
Yeah, I have a streak of like 290 something in a friend's chat.
Yeah.
And I always try to maintain it by just loading his stream up first when he's live on my phone, or if I have any other tabs, I close them down. I wait until my points are like counted, or my view is counted, so I don't lose my streak, and then I reopen the other tabs.
Right. So I'm actually sitting on 170 days of
Since
daily
they added,
streaking
since
with my
since they added that feature, yeah.
Yep. And I like solitaire just because it's a mental puzzle, and not every hand you're dealt is winnable, and it's fun to go through and figure out what hands are gonna work and what hands aren't, because you can generally tell what hands aren't going to be winners.
Yeah.
If you pay attention to.
Yeah.
Take
Okay.
another phone call.
No worries.
Hang on, Blue. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm here.
So what would you do with $1 million?
What would I do with $1 million? I'd probably give it to the homies, or split it up with the homies. Because, I mean, there's no better support system than your friends. I've got a lot of friends. I've got a lot of A1 day ones, and their support means the world to me.
Yeah.
And especially my wife's support. I would probably buy the wife a car. Honestly, I would probably buy the wife a car for sure, at least, because we're currently a one-car family, so it makes getting things done a little difficult.
Oh yeah, I feel that. We're a one-car household, my dad and I. My parents are divorced, so sometimes I don't feel like driving, so he probably takes the car and drives me to work. And if I feel like driving, I drive the car to work sometimes and just give him the car back. So he carpools me from home to work, back to home at the end of the day, because maybe he has some stuff to do, because my dad is like a car expert. He works in insurance and stuff, and he has to drop off or like pick up insurance policies, like those things you get for the car, so he can do them on the way.
All right. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. All right. So, what's your biggest pet peeve?
Oh, my biggest pet peeve. It would probably be people that throw their cigarette butts on the ground. I'm not big. I am a cigarette smoker myself.
Yeah.
But I try to field graze, and if you don't know what field grazing is, it's essentially just rolling the cherry out of the cigarette, and then I'll usually pitch the cigarette butt.
Yeah.
But cigarette butts, they don't degrade very fast, and then they are a pollutant, and they have some trace amounts of plastic in them, and they're not good for the planet. So I try to urge fellow cigarette smokers to throw it in an ashtray, throw it into a cigarette bin. This planet, it as massive and as great as it is, it's only limited by our care for it. Now, Mother Nature doesn't care whether we care for it or not. It's gonna do its thing. But, I mean, global warming's an issue, and, clean drinking water is an issue. Food availability is an issue.
It's becoming an issue, yeah.
Yes, and like stuff like that. I know it seems so small, but just even the smallest fucking changes in our habits in everyday life is, it's gonna make changes to this planet that, it's mind blowing. Just the small changes that could possibly benefit us in the future.
Not only that, but like I wish more people would listen, because we have like yin and yang
Right.
in this world, like yin and yang, one being good, one being bad. Every person has it. Even the
Yes,
wholesomest,
there's a balance to this
even
planet.
even the wholesomest, most angelic, let's say the Pope, even the Pope has it, for example. Like everybody
Hmm.
has that good and bad, but you have to know how to use it. You
Exactly.
have to know. So for example, I use my evil for good. Like if someone's being evil,
Right.
I treat people how I want to be treated. Like I will be evil to you.
Exactly.
And not only that, but like you're saying, like going back to the point where you said like every single changes matter on our planet. And I
Hmm.
think like food is like everything is like starting to like lessen. Like for example, like there's more and more people, there's less and less food resource, for example.
Yep.
The I'm not gonna get political, but that's my opinion. You feel free to comment on it. But like no, like
Yes.
like I feel like the whole COVID thing existed like since forever, but media has just made it more scary, like inflated it more, just so
Yeah,
that
social media is definitely a
yeah,
scary. It's such a useful
especially
tool.
especially like
It's such a useful tool.
yeah, especially like no, I feel like some people on the media, like the press, like let's say someone started a rumor and then the media is going there with the rumor and then spreading it falsely like they heard, or maybe adding to it. But like I feel like this whole COVID thing happened to not only scare people, but like they gave people stuff to just like try and lessen, like make the population on Earth decrease, because it's getting overcrowded. That's my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of in the political realm that I don't really want to get into.
Yeah, let's not get there, but yeah, that's my whole thing. But the next question I want to ask you is, uh, would you rather have a pause or a rewind button in your life?
Rewind for sure.
Okay. The next one is a three-part question. What's one of your all-time favorite
Okay.
songs?
My all-time favorite song?
One of them, yeah.
Fuck.
Or something that you probably
Man.
have been like addicted to recently. You keep on repeat.
So I really like I've been listening to a lot of Avenged Sevenfold lately. Their song Crimson Day is a really good song. I'm a music advocate, Blue. I can't pin one song as my favorite.
Yeah, same here. I'm kind of like a music producer, DJ, let's say advocate, because if you ask me for a song and if I happen to know it, you can consider me as a like walking, talking jukebox or dictionary for music.
Yeah, Blue. If I'm being
Yeah.
honest, you're just a man of many trades.
I try.
Man of many skills.
I try. I try like not quite pass on my knowledge, but more like try to just help however and whenever I can, and I just end up with things.
Right. Yeah, 100%.
Okay, so the next question is similar, but now what's one of your all-time favorite movies?
All-time favorite movie? Probably Lord of the Rings.
Any specific
It's
one?
all of them.
Okay, so the
All of
franchise.
them, including the Hobbits.
Did you know that they're
Including the
making
Hobbits.
they're making a new live action one?
No, but I'll be on the lookout for it because I
th-
definitely love me some J.R.R. Tolkien.
I think it's called the search or the hunt for what's his name, Golem or something.
Hunt for Gold. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I'll keep an eye out for it.
So they're kind of doing it like Star Wars did, like episode 4, 5, 6, then 1, 2, 3. Now they're doing 7, 8, 9. So basically, I consider Lord of the Rings as like this. Like they started with Lord of the Rings 1, 2, 3, which is, to me, Hobbit is 1, 2, 3 because it's a prequel.
Yes.
Hobbit, then Lord of the Rings,
I'm
and now
completely
7,
in
8, 9.
one
Yeah,
line for that.
yeah. Now 7,
I agree
8,
with
9.
you, Blue.
Yeah. All right.
Yep.
So, what's one of your all-time favorite TV shows or series? TV shows doesn't have to be broadcast on TV. It could be like a Netflix show, a Netflix TV series or something.
To be honest with you, when it comes to TV shows, I don't watch a whole lot, but I do. Naruto is easily my favorite anime. It's something. Naruto has had an impact on my life that is so profound, and it resonates in who I am today and how I treat people.
That's
and
cool.
Everything.
Yeah, my favorite anime would be Full Metal Alchemist.
Full Metal Alchemist is a really good anime too.
Not Brotherhood, just the normal one, because I think Brotherhood.
Yeah, just
for a
regular
moment,
Full Metal Alchemist.
for a-
Brotherhood's okay.
for a
It's
while
not the
there-
best.
Yeah, for a while there, I thought like Brotherhood was a sequel or a prequel. Then recently, like literally like last year, I found out that Brotherhood was their attempt at like rebooting the franchise, and I felt like Brotherhood was weird because of the
I think they
animation.
try to do what Naruto did and because Naruto's got like, technically it's got 3 different parts to it. Because you got Naruto, which is the original, I think it's the first 5 seasons of Naruto. And then it splits off, and there's like a brief time gap in between.
Yeah.
And then it turns into Naruto Shippuden. And then
Shippuden, I know it.
after Shippuden's done and over with, then they transition into Boruto, which is a whole. I mean, it's kind of the same story, but it's a different story.
Yeah, I heard of Boruto. I've heard of it. It's being like a space thing.
It's kind of a. I don't want to say that it's a spin-off because it's not a spin-off. It's in line with the story. It's basically based on Naruto's son. I'm not going to get into the whole story of Naruto because it would take me literal hours to cover everything that's important. But yeah, Naruto is easily my favorite anime and series, TV, or Netflix.
To me, I feel like this is the same as what's it called, Yu-Gi-Oh, because I feel like there's way too many Yu-Gi-Ohs, like Yu-Gi-Oh GX,
Yeah,
5
just like
5D.
Pokemon's got a lot of different
Pokemon is
variations
different.
of it.
Pokemon is different in my opinion because Pokemon was Pokemon. Like it didn't
Right.
go into like this is considered Pokemon. I know that each season has their own name. Like let's say the Orange Island Adventures or Johto, Pokemon Black, Pokemon White, XY. No, these are the same series, but I feel like Yu-Gi-Oh shifted into like different, not spin-offs, but like one series, but it has. I know what I'm saying is just like kind of doesn't make sense, but it does if you look at it in some aspect. But like I feel like Yu-Gi-Oh 5G or Yu-Gi-Oh GX or something, I feel like this is a different vibe from the Yu-Gi-Oh we're used to, you know?
I can definitely agree with that, Blue. I stopped watching Yu-Gi-Oh after they started bringing in those fucking the holographic stuff that they were doing. So yeah, I'm fully in line with that statement.
Yeah. Okay. So if your life was ever to be made into a video game or a song, what would it be titled, or what would you want it to be titled, and why?
I would probably want it to be titled The Tales of the Ham. because
Yeah.
that's my brand. I mean, it wasn't initially going to be the brand, but everybody seems to be in line with calling me Hammy or Ham. So I'm gonna accept it, and I'm gonna try and do something with it.
Yeah. So if you had one special superpower, what would it be and how would you use it?
Oh man, Blue, you're asking me to come up with a superpower for me. We'll pass. We'll pass on this one.
Okay.
I don't know.
No worries. Mine would be
I don't know that-
teleportation.
know how-
Mine would be teleportation.
I
Okay.
understand. I don't know what superpower I would want to have, honestly.
Yeah. Okay. What's your biggest irrational fear?
Heights. I have a fear
Okay.
of heights. It's probably an irrational fear.
Yeah, mine is so silly.
I mean, it's a completely rational fear.
Yeah.
The fear of falling is definitely a rational feeling, but
Yeah.
I need to experience like roller coasters and stuff like that a lot more. Experience the thrills that are in life.
Mine, I don't know if it's like rational or irrational, but I think you know what my fear is from, and it's really stupid, but I don't mind having like a balloon. I have a fear of balloons, but like the sound of the balloon when it pops just fucks me
Oh
up.
yeah,
Yeah,
a popping balloon's gonna catch anybody off guard,
yeah,
especially if it's completely full.
Mm.
Yeah, I understand, Blue. I get where you're coming from.
Because some people have a fear of like clowns, porcelain dolls. I don't mind these. I would sit in a room with nothing but like clowns or porcelain dolls or porcelain clown dolls. I don't care. I
Yeah,
would sit
can't
in a
do
room.
porcelain dolls either. It's shit's creepy.
I don't mind. Like honestly, I think not me, but I know someone who had a porcelain doll, and I played with that doll, and I didn't feel anything. I was like, I could take this home and I could stay with it at home all day, and I'm not scared of you. But like more that, I feel like the fear of like having an irrational fear is very common lately.
Yeah. People are afraid of all different types of things.
Yeah, and
No fear is painted black and white.
yeah, and you have to sometimes face your fears. So like I tried making a friend face his fears, and people thought I was being too pushy with it, but no, like if I act in a certain way, or if I become pushy or like a bit demanding because I'm like trying to protect someone or myself, but like I tried telling him like, hey, it's okay, it's just a video game, just go and touch that monster. He's not gonna hurt you in real life. It's just a video game. This is how, because I am an audiovisual student, and I at some point was asked to give acting classes for like kids, like teenagers and stuff in a summer school, and I taught them not to be scared of being on stage. I didn't go and tell like people to just like imagine everybody naked or something. No, just like because there was like at the time I was 22 back in 2016, and that person that was in that summer school, because that summer school has all the ages from like 2 till 18, so I was dealing with like an 18-year-old at the time, and he was like,
Right.
I don't want to act, like I have a fear of stage, and I asked the class to just evacuate, and just I was the only one there watching him, and he felt okay. And then I told them like come in one after the other, as he kept on like doing like an impromptu act, and they went in one by one. He kind of started stuttering. I'm like, just we don't exist, go on, keep going, and it worked. The second time I tried to ask him to do this, he just blanked out like a week after. So I did something. I closed the curtains, we were still there, and I asked him like, act behind the curtain, and slowly I started like just slowly opening the curtain, and
Right.
like he kept going. He didn't notice until like a few minutes later that we're watching, and then he looked away, and he stopped for like a second, but he kept going. Like he blended it with, as if like his character, the character that he's playing, was actually like had a brain freeze. So every time I see him, because he lives here in my street, every time he sees me, he's like, "Thank you so much for helping me. Now I'm advanced in life and something." I think he's like 26 now or 27.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're so awesome, Blue. I appreciate everything you do. Not
I
just
try.
for me, but for all the people that you help.
I try. Okay. So, which of these three things would you give up if you ever had to? Money, gaming, or love?
Money. And I'm gonna tell you why, Blue.
Okay.
I'm in the mentality that money and debt is just a fictitious term.
Okay.
I'm a lot of people like to, you know, give me a lot of undue praise when I pop into somebody's stream and drop like 10 gifted subs, you know. You know how I am. I'm a very giving individual, and a lot of people do see that. I don't do it because of the money. The money's
Neither do I.
just a byproduct of what I'm trying to do. Now, the money plays a factor only when it comes to, okay, I've got to sit back and address my finances and everything, and sometimes I can't be as giving as I am. But even when I'm not in the financial capability, I don't let it stop me.
Yeah,
A
same
lot
here.
of what I give, I pay back over time.
Yeah, same here.
I don't pay it all up front right off the get. It's usually put on credit and I pay it over time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would really just give up on money if I could, and just I want to be able to support the people that I want to support
Yeah.
in a way that is significant. And a lot of people say your viewership and your presence is all that I need, and for some people I know that's genuine, but
Yeah.
I don't know. For me it's the best way you can show support in somebody's stream if they're affiliated is to drop a sub, you know. These people have put a lot of time and their own money into creating their product, and if it's something that you really genuinely like, the I think they're $5.99 on Twitch desktop,
It
and
varies every country.
$6.99 on
It varies.
so
in every
USD
country.
it's I think at USD it's
$5.99
$5.99 per sub,
And mobile
on,
subs are like $1 more expensive, like $6.99.
yeah, they're $1 more. Yep.
Yeah.
But to me, that it's worth that money for the month if it's somebody that I genuinely support, and if it's somebody that I know is going to stick to a regular stream schedule and this, that, and the fourth, I have zero issues, none whatsoever. Take my money.
Yeah.
Like, I want your emotes. I want to be able to watch your stream continuously.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to be interrupted by ads. And I hear a lot of people say, "Oh, well, we'll get a ad blocker." That doesn't always work. I do like 85% of my Twitch watch time is done on mobile.
Yeah.
So I don't get the option to avoid ads. They're prevalent, ever existing. So I kind of have to do what I do to be able to support the way I want to support. And unfortunately, that involves money.
Yeah. Not only that, but like if you have several streamers, you need to support. Like for me, one sub or gifting a sub a month is $2.49, and I feel like I could, like with let's say $5, like $6 or $5.99 or $6.99, which is crazy to think about in the US. I could sub to 2 channels. So I sometimes do drop like 6 months in advance sub. Sometimes I do a tier 3 depending on the situation of the channel. But I always make sure like the people that are there to stay, because as I said, people come and go, but the people that are there to stay, I make sure to just like, even if I don't have money, I tell them sometimes like I can't afford it this month, or this is why I do like 6 months in advance, sometimes 3 months in advance, because like I know that I'm gonna hit rock bottom at some point, or probably like, let's say next month I have the PlayStation yearly, or like I did half a year I think this time. I'll check like the PlayStation subscription and the Nintendo one. So I give priorities to this. So I select certain channels and I subscribe for like months in advance. So to save myself from
there's a couple streamers that I do that for.
Yeah.
Serenade is one of them.
Yeah. Yeah. Even like now, as we talk, I am running like on no money. Like I subbed the other day because I had whatever's left of my savings in the bank. I bought a few games, and then because supposedly like what happened here is like our like situation here degraded so much back before the pandemic happened. Like the pandemic happened like exactly in December of 2019, and our situation started going very, very bad in October. There was like a revolution. People started breaking stuff.
You're talking about in Lebanon?
Yeah, I'm getting to a point, but like then our currency started losing its value against the dollar. Like a dollar used to value 1,500 Lebanese pounds. Now, today, $1 is worth 89.5k Lebanese pounds.
You know, I think that conversion rate is still better than the USD into the yen.
We didn't have dollars, like actual dollars at some point, but the bank I used to have like my salary sent there, and I saved up like $3,000 throughout the years. They refuse to give them to us, like like people who put small amounts like $2,000, they refuse to give it. But people who have $100,000 and more, they gave them the money when they should have done the opposite. But my bank didn't want to give us the money, and now that they were giving it out like 150 a month or 250 a month. Until now, I had 254 left, and when I went to withdraw them, they only gave me 201. I was like, why did you take my money? Like, even if it's a small stupid amount, like I know there's taxes, I know there's fuckeries you guys need to you need to get around with, but like I'm not paying for bank fees anymore. I don't want anything to do with your bank, and I have another bank, so I'm happy because I don't know, because the other bank that I have, it's more like of a personal credit card. I don't have money in any bank anymore after today, after like yesterday actually, or the day before. But whatever money I make, I keep it aside, and I just put however much amount I need into that card only. That's all I need. Like, that's to get me by.
That's not a bad way to go about it,
Yeah,
Blue.
yeah. Okay, so if you had the chance to switch lives with one public figure, celebrity, any famous person for one day, who would you pick and why?
Does Lucifer TTV count?
No.
No.
I assure you, you don't want to see what I go through.
You're probably right, but still,
Yeah.
I love you, Blue. I think if I could be anybody, I'd probably be Johnny Depp, because the wife absolutely loves him, and I like Johnny Depp as well, but not nearly to the extent that she does.
I don't think she loves him, Amber Turd. I don't think she loves him.
No.
Yeah. This is why we call her Amber Turd.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Well, all my homies hate Amber Heard.
Yeah. Mine would be Kim Kardashian for 3 reasons. First reason
That dump
is
truck?
no. First reason is I wanna smuggle some of her fortune, like move it from
That's
or
fair.
send it to my family, without like
That's fair.
make her sign like a no refund and no take backs contract.
No take back seats.
Yeah. And second reason is I want to see a day in her life, like actual life. And third reason is I want to call her sisters' names. Like I want to call them out. I want to tell them like, hey bitches, hey those, yeah.
Hell yeah, Blue. Hell yeah.
Okay, so we are going into the food aspect of the questions. The next questions are food related. What's your favorite drink of choice?
Mountain Dew. Easy.
Yeah.
Easy.
What's the weirdest thing you've ever had, like tried, food-wise?
I can't answer that, Blue. I'm an extremely picky eater. Right?
We can
not
skip.
A whole lot that I
We
will
can
try.
skip. No worries, we can skip. What's your favorite comfort food of all time?
Oh, comfort food? Definitely a cheeseburger.
Okay. If you could only eat one meal for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Oh, my sloppy joes and mac and cheese.
Okay. What's your favorite?
I hand make that stuff from scratch, by the way.
Nice. What's your favorite or a traditional food from your state or your country? If you don't want to disclose which state you are in, you could tell me just one thing you love.
Really
That's a
don't know.
traditional food from the US.
I mean, I guess a hot dog's a traditional U.S. food.
Yeah. Okay.
So I guess hot dog or pizza, even though pizza's technically Italian.
Yeah. This segment is the mini game segment. I might ask you to just have or take out like a pen or something, or you could also
Crap, Blue, I'm in my garage. I don't have anything.
or
like
just
that.
open your notepad, or if you have a good memory, you could just it's kind of like Kill, Marry, Sleep With. If you've played that game, Kill, Marry, Sleep With.
Okay.
In this mini game,
Okay.
Yeah.
I got you.
and this it's called Play, Delete, Uninstall. So in this mini game, I will name a set of 3 games each time. You'll have to tell me which one you'd play and keep forever,
Okay.
which one you'd delete from existence and it's gone forever, and which one you'd uninstall. By uninstall, consider it like a demo. Like for example, you can play it for a while, for a little bit. If you like it, you can continue and finish it, or you can uninstall it.
Okay.
But if you choose to uninstall it, and you are not allowed to come back to it, it still exists, but you cannot go back to it. That also includes the whole franchise. So
Okay.
yeah,
I don't have to do this in real life, do I?
no. This
Okay,
is where this is kind of like where I get to be a dickhead, basically, in this segment.
So it's essentially all hypothetical.
Yes. You have three
Okay,
jokers. You have also three jokers that allow you to either delete all of the options during one of the options, or keep all of them. You cannot uninstall one or delete the other two, or vice versa. Like you can't say option A, I want to uninstall it, but I want to delete option B and C, or the opposite. You can't do that. That's cheating.
Okay.
You're also free to skip any of these if you feel stuck, or if you blank out, or if you feel like, okay, I really don't want to use the jokers, but I also want to skip this. But you cannot skip every question. You're allowed
Okay.
up to 5 or 6 skips.
Okay.
All right. Call of Duty, Counter-Strike, Battlefield.
You said it was
Play, delete,
Keep.
uninstall.
play, delete, and uninstall. Okay, so play Call of Duty, delete what was it? Delete Battlefield, uninstall Counter-Strike.
Okay, fair enough. Apex, Fortnite, Valorant.
I'd probably install Valorant, delete
Uninstall,
Fortnite,
Yeah.
and uninstall Apex.
Okay.
I think that's what
Yeah,
you
yeah,
said.
yeah, yeah. Play, delete, uninstall, yeah. Okay, PUBG, Overwatch, Marvel Rivals.
Play Marvel Rivals, uninstall or delete PUBG, and uninstall the other one. Overwatch, yes.
Okay, next up we have Borderlands, the Metal Gear franchise, and Far Cry.
Play Far Cry. Delete. You said the other lands. Borderlands. Yeah, I'd have to. You kind of threw me for a loop because you put Fallout in there. I would probably uninstall Borderlands and delete the third. I can't
Okay.
remember what the third is. I'm sorry.
We had Borderlands, Metal Gear franchise, and Far Cry. Like Metal Gear Solid, Metal Gear Rising.
Yeah, I've never played Metal Gear before. So
I
I'm not
have.
pressed about that.
Now that you remind me, I need to go back and try and finish Metal Gear Rising Revengeance. It's kind of like a JRPG,
Yeah.
but not quite a JRPG. So Destiny 2, The First Descendant, Once Human.
I think so. I'm gonna play Once Human because I've never heard of it.
Mm-hmm.
What were the other two, Blue? I'm sorry.
I forgot. Destiny 2, The First Descendant, Once Human.
Okay, so play Once Human, uninstall Destiny 2, and delete
The First Descendant.
yes.
Okay.
The First Descendant.
Next up, we have Baldur's Gate, Elden Ring, Diablo.
Okay, so definitely play Baldur's Gate, uninstall Elden Ring, and delete Diablo.
Okay. Quake, Doom, Elder Scrolls series.
Play the Elder Scrolls series, delete Quake, and uninstall Doom.
Okay. Next up, we have Daisy, the Forest, and the Quarry.
Play the forest, uninstall Daisy, and delete the forest. Or the fuck. Forget the third one.
Daisy, the Forest, the Quarry.
So yeah, so play. Why am I blanking? I'm
This is
usually
why I
better at
told
this.
you. This is why I told you, like, write them down.
I don't know.
Uh,
No.
Carve them into the table.
Carve them into the table. Yeah. I've got something to write it down. My bad.
Okay. So Daisy, the Forest, the Quarry.
Play the forest, delete Daisy, and uninstall the quarry.
All right. Dead by Daylight, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Play Dead by Daylight, delete Killer Clowns, and uninstall Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Okay. Little Nightmares, Alien, Silent Hills.
Little Nightmares, Alien, so
Like the Alien franchise, yeah.
I've never played any of these.
Like Alien Isolation. Alien Isolation. You've probably heard of it.
Okay, so
Yeah, that's the
I've
part
heard
of
of
it.
Alien ISO.
Part of the Alien franchise, or as it's called, like the Predator, because it's like Alien versus Predator, so they called it the Predator series. But some people told me like it's not technically called the Predator series, but some others say it is. So I don't know.
So I'd probably play Alien ISO. Little Aliens, is that part of Alien ISO?
No,
or is
Little
that different?
Nightmares. We have
Little Nightmares.
Yeah, and Silent
Little
Hills.
Nightmares, Silent Hills. So I'd probably play Alien ISO, delete the Silent Tales,
Silent Hills, yeah.
and
Hills,
uninstall
yeah.
third.
Yeah.
Fuck. I was
Phasmophobia.
trying to type them down.
It's fine. Phasmophobia, Demonologist, and Devour.
Demonologist
And Devour.
and Devour.
Yeah.
So I definitely play Phas. I don't know anything about Devour, so I'd uninstall Devour and delete
Demonologist.
Demonologist.
Okay. Next up, we have the Fallout series, Dead Space, Mass Effect.
Fallout series, Dead Space, Mass Effect.
Yeah.
Play Fallout series. Uninstall Mass Effect
Okay.
and delete. Blinking again. Try to write it down. Fuck.
Mass Effect, Dead Space.
Mass Effect.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Next up, we have Dead Island, Left 4 Dead, Dying Light.
Dying Light, Dead Island.
Left 4 Dead.
Left 4 Dead.
Yeah.
Island. Left 4 Dead. So I'd play Dying Light. Uninstall Dead Island and delete Left 4 Dead.
Okay. Next up, we have Alan Wake, Resident Evil, The Evil Within.
Well, Evil Within. So, what was the first one, Blue? I'm sorry.
Resident
I'm trying to
Evil,
write 'em down.
Alan Wake, Resident Evil, Evil Within.
Wake and Resident Evil.
Yeah.
So I'd probably play Resident Evil because I know what that is. Delete Alan Wake because I don't know, and uninstall Evil Within.
Okay. Next up we have Fall Guys, Party Animals, and Split Fiction.
Probably play Split Fiction because I've never tried it. Uninstall Fall Guys because I don't want to delete it.
Yeah.
And delete Party Animals.
Okay. Yeah. Next up we have Pal World, Pokemon, and Palia. Palia. Palia.
Pokemon and Alia. So I would say play Pokemon for sure. Delete Pal World because it's basically a ripoff of Pokemon. And uninstall Palia.
Okay. Next up we have Project Zomboid, 7 Days to Die, and The Last of Us.
Zomboid. You said 7 Days to Die?
Yes.
7 days. And then
Last of Us.
Last of Us. Ooh, so I would definitely play Last of Us because I've been very interested in that one. Probably delete 7 days and uninstall Project Zomboid.
Okay. Next up we have Valheim, Stardew Valley, Minecraft.
Play Stardew Valley, uninstall Minecraft, and delete the one time I don't write it down. Valheim. Yeah, delete Valheim.
Okay. We have Just Cause, GTA, Saints Row.
So play GTA, delete Saints Row, and uninstall Just Cause.
Okay. We have next up Assassin's Creed, Uncharted, and Tomb Raider.
So play Assassin's Creed, uninstall Uncharted, and delete Tomb Raider because I don't really care for them.
Okay. The last three are Kingdom Hearts, Persona, Final Fantasy.
Okay. Serenade's gonna hate me for this one. What was the first one, Blue? I'm sorry.
Kingdom Hearts, Persona, Final Fantasy.
So we're gonna play Kingdom Hearts. We're gonna uninstall Persona, and we're gonna delete fucking Final Fantasy.
Listen,
Get it the fuck out of here.
if I was to just, I would probably keep Kingdom Hearts and delete the other two, but like I won't twist the game rules to my own good. But I would say what you said, like delete Final Fantasy, play Kingdom Hearts, but and of course uninstall Persona. But like Kingdom Hearts wouldn't have been without Final Fantasy. But I don't care.
I understand, but still.
Yeah.
Serenade's kind of put a bad taste of Final Fantasy
Lol.
in my mouth.
Lol. Okay. Maybe if Delicate heard this, she would tell him if he didn't hear it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. So this is a new game. I will do something different this episode. This game is This or That. That's what it's called. This or That. My version of This or That, which is easy. I'll give you a few options. You have to choose one out of the two things from the following.
Okay.
Twitch or YouTube?
Oh. Twitch.
Okay. Calm music or vibrant music?
Calm music.
Day or night?
Night, for sure.
Coffee or soft drinks?
Soft drink.
Okay. Beach or mountain/forest?
Beach.
Summer or winter?
Summer for sure.
Okay. Do you prefer Instagram or Twitter?
Can I say neither? Because I don't like either.
Next up, we have the fourth segment, which is the truth serum. This is kind of like a game, but not quite a game. In this segment, John and I will be playing something similar to Never Have I Ever, with a twist at the end. There's no skipping, there's no running away from the question. You have to answer every question. This is the only way to go. The rules are simple. I will ask 10 rapid questions. You have to say I have or I have not, depending on whether you did what it's in the question or not. At the end, you have to confess something you've done on Twitch or IRL. It's up to you that you regret. It can be something you've confessed about before or first time confessing it. Alright. Have you ever stolen something? Have you ever eaten something off the floor?
I have.
Have you ever taken someone's belonging and damaged it?
No.
Okay. Have you ever lied about something and then got called out for it?
I have.
Have you ever cheated on someone? Doesn't have to be a lover, can be a friend. Have you ever been kicked out of a place?
I have.
Okay. Have you ever hurt someone? It can be either physically or virtually. Like probably been toxic or mean to someone.
I have.
This one is the elephant in the room. It's obvious. Have you ever taken drugs?
I have.
Okay. Have you ever gone streaking or swam naked?
I have not.
Okay. Have you ever driven drunk or texted someone?
I have.
Okay. Now it's confession time. I would like to hear a confession from you about something very bad that you've done, whether online, it can be on Twitch or social media, or in real life, that you regret so much that you wish you'd never done. And that's different from the mental health, by the way.
I would probably venture to say it can just be something that I regret not doing. Okay, so when I was in high school, but more or less when I was in junior high, I was big into sports, and I did two main sports when I was in school. Track and field and football. American football, sorry. I know it's different in different groups, but I was playing football and I did track, and then there was one year during track I was messing around and I fell directly on my kneecap. Unknown to me, this caused my kneecap to push right up against my tendon, and it's always been up against my tendon. So when I did summer, winter conditioning for football, it got difficult to do the weightlifting and everything, and then I stopped playing football. So I regret doing that because where I am from, football's such a big part of my community. And growing up, my dad always went to the high school football games.
Yeah.
And then I started going with my dad. So I wanted to play football because I wanted to make him proud. And
this is the final segment. This is the mental health segment. In this segment, we will be talking about a lot of things, usually between mental health and life experience. And my tone went low because I know this is not an easy subject to talk about, and today's segment is a bit dark. John, don't worry about being graphic. Don't worry about going dark. We've spoken about a lot of. This segment is kind of like unhinged, unfiltered. Not unhinged to the way like, okay, you can swear, no, like you could say those the N-word or something. No, like there's no limits. Like if your story is dark, no filters, tell it as it is. Today we're going to talk about one of the times he was held at a gunpoint for selling drugs, and I think I recall telling me that it happened twice, not only once.
Yes.
So
yes. This will be interesting because,
yeah,
believe it or not, one of my buddies is sitting
I
in the
will
room
not
with me.
I will not I will not talk about, or I will not try not to talk most of the time. Let him tell his story, but start from the beginning. Also, before you start, guys, feel free to skip or dip out this segment if you feel like it might be triggering for you guys. But if you're curious to know, like I am, just go ahead and listen. And at any point in this segment you feel triggered, just turn it off and move on with your life. I won't get upset. I won't get mad. I understand. So go ahead, John. This is your segment.
Alright, so I want to talk about a time that I was in high school, or not in high school, but in college. So when I first got into college, I was not really as big of a stoner as I am now today. It kind of definitely spiraled when I got to college and I met a couple of my college friends. But anywho, so I've only ever done weed before, so it's not any super hard drugs or anything, and I'm sure there's probably people that have run into the same situation I have. The issue that I had when I was in college was money, like most college students have here in America. Well, the quickest way when you're in college and you don't really have a job and like you're not really working full time, you only work part time, is the only alternative is to kind of start selling drugs or other means of coming up with money. So I decided to start selling drugs with my one buddy, or a couple of my buddies from college. Well, you kind of have to get a customer base, and I had a decent customer base for a while, but people are finicky because they just want to get their fix and they don't want to pay your prices. So, and that's fine, people could go wherever, but the issue I ran into was there was a couple times where I was trying to find customers online, people I've never met before, and then putting too much trust into their what they say they're gonna do, and this, that, and the fourth. And well, one time I wound up selling to the wrong group of people. And it didn't happen once, but it happened twice. So essentially what had happened is I parked in some out of the way remote location where, nobody's gonna really notice anything. And I'm ready to make a drug deal and everything like that, and I let person get into the car and everything. We make the exchange and everything, so I'm waiting for the money, and the next thing I know, I look over and dude's got a gun. And granted, it wasn't pointed at me, and it was enough to be like, okay, dude, you got what you wanted. You just let me go. I don't want to deal with this. That was the first time. The second time didn't go so nicely. The second time, I believe it to be the same person, but under the guise of a different person online. It was basically the same thing, and but this time they gave me money, except this time it was not real money. It was basically folded up cardboard and it was worn and tattered, and it felt like the right amount of money. And then when I tried to, confront him about it, that's when I got the gun pointed at me. So I guess my mental health advice for people would be to, don't trust everybody that you meet, even if you think that they have good intentions. If you've never met them in real life, you really can't know what their intentions are, or who they are, or, how credible they are. Just be careful. Be careful out there. The world is a scary place, and like I said at the beginning of the podcast, I'm a lover of people, man. I really am, and that part of my life kind of it plays back on me a lot, because I could easily not be alive right now, and a lot of people that I know today wouldn't have known me. I never would have met you. I never would have met Serenade. I never would have met Luke or Krillin or Wheezy. There's so many people I never would have met if things had gone south, and life is just too precious. That's my that's my spiel about this, Blue. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, no worries. I totally understand. Anything else you'd like to add or say?
Just follow my boy Blue. He's doing great things out here on Twitch.
No.
Really is.
You don't play this card with me on my podcast. I do this at the end of each episode. So you guys also, let me do my outro then before he says anything else. Okay. So thank you so much for being here, John. Thank you for your time, and guys, go check him out. It's literally the episode handle. This is episode 97. We are very close to 100, guys, and I don't know what's gonna be hiding in episode 100. Some of my friends want me to be the guest on episode 100, as in they interview me and I answer, but I don't know if it's gonna work this way. I would probably, if it doesn't happen, I'm thinking of probably making it a special, probably get some streamers together, probably maybe bits and pieces of best of clips from each episode or from some episodes, and don't worry if you don't get featured on there, that's no big deal, but I want to probably make it the important points in some episodes. We might not talk about gaming, but I want to make it a mental health episode if I wasn't part of episode 100. But this special episode is still a project that I just revealed today. So anyways, John, thank you again for being part of this, and go check him out on Twitch, JohnHam340. And
yes, I appreciate it. Thank you for having me
of
on.
course. Do you have a set day or set time you stream on?
Yeah, so I normally stream Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. These are my guaranteed days. I start at 9:30 in the morning, Eastern Standard Time, and I usually go for about 3.5 hours. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 9:30 in the morning Eastern Time. Sundays are usually a fun day for my stream. We usually try to do Baldur's Gate 3 with the wifey. That's a stream that I always look forward to because it's kind of a good unwind time for me and the wife. But yeah, feel free to
Alright.
check me out.
Yep. And I will see you guys in the next episode. Thank you for listening. Bye.